50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 331. Today is November 11th. Happy Veterans Day to everyone who served. I am your host, D-Rock, and joining me, my partner in crime, our NBA guru, Elvis Acosta. E, how you doing today, kid?
Still, I'm doing great. Like you said, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there, especially my grandfather, Santos, my OG, triple OG, and my god brother, Sean De Jesus. So it's live, it's up. Let's have a great day, Dill.
Yeah, let's have a great day as well. Got a good show for you guys. Week 11 in college football. Some do or dies here. Week 10 in NFL. We are still overseas. Your Patriots will
sir.
take... Yes, you got... Guys, early game in Germany this week against the Colts, right?
Yeah, dog of the
Colts.
day.
Dog of the day early. We got some NBA plays and college basketball as well. I want to start there real quick. E, I don't know if you heard the comments last night. You know, Memphis, just one win. They get not blown out, but they lose to a underwhelming Utah team that I feel like they should have won. You know, the coach comes out after the game and didn't basically say it was their fault, but the refs. He goes, I understand we have to play better. We have to coach better. But at the end of the day, these refs are not on our side. He's definitely going to get fined for it. He doesn't care about it. But what's going on with this Memphis team?
Dill, you know, it's just you're down your best player in John Morant. Maybe some of that juju, you know, ain't, you know, maybe it's still hanging off from last season. Remember, they lost in the first round against the Lakers. All that, you know, in-season drama. You know, he's not there. Then you lose Dylan Brooks. Hey, maybe Dylan Brooks was a bigger loss than people are making it.
I won't admit it, but people will.
Yeah, like let's just be honest. Dylan Brooks, we see him move to Houston, and not for none, he is leading the league in 3-point percentage as of now. I'm not saying he's going to end that, but, you know, Memphis could use that. No jokes aside, Memphis could use somebody that's shooting over 50% from three right now. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to give it more time. I just feel like this team is young. You know, Desmond Bane playing at a great level.
He's the only one, though. He's literally the only one. He dropped 37, almost a 40 burger. He shot 67%. But other than that, Jared Jackson, he's been underwhelming. You got Bismack Biyombo. Luke Kennard's been okay off the bench. But other than that,
Marcus Smart hasn't really been cooking, like, you know.
At all.
So like, at the end of the day, I just feel like the team is just young and just underachieving right now. Maybe when Ja gets back, maybe they could turn it around. Hopefully it's not too late. But still, at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, losing Dylan Brooks, not having Ja there right now, you know, 2 out of the three starters, I think it's just, you know, it's catching up to them at this very moment.
And then on the other side, you know, you got the Clippers who, you know, they're 0-3, and now Philly, without him, they look like one of the best teams in the league. They another big win against Detroit last night, and the chemistry seems really good in Philadelphia. And now they're 0-3 with James Harden. You know, he came out, he had the infamous quote the other week, I'm not a system player, I am the system. You know, it probably rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But, man, this team just can't get anything going. I mean, Russ doesn't look good at all. James Harden doesn't look good. I mean, Kawhi, actually, he's the only one that probably looks good. But another loss, they get not even just like a competitive loss. I mean, Luka just dominated. No one could guard this man. Luka dominated. He had 44 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Then you put a light 27 from Kyrie. I mean, They couldn't stop these two. Well, what do you think of the Clippers, and what do they have to do to get over this hump? Because there's so much talent on this team.
Yeah, it's so much talent. You know, I'm going to just let it mesh for a little bit. I think just, you know, they're just going to have to mesh, see which roles fits best for each player, what minutes is the fighter. Maybe, you know, maybe you might have to add Russ go into the bench. Maybe he needs a lesser role, or
Mm.
have James Harden in a lesser role. I'm not sure, but personally, I think Kawhi and Paul George should be the two start. Like those two should the ball should be through them, and then
Yeah.
have James Harden run the point every now and then. But I want my offense to flourish and to go through Paul George and Kawhi Leonard at all times. I understand James Harden can still get around double digits assists. He led the league in assists last season, So I'm not gonna overreact. It was just what 3 game stretch, but you got to get a couple wins going eventually. Though I'm not gonna overreact. It's just 3 games. At the end of the day, when you have four, Hall of Fame players in Paul George, Kawhi, James Harden, and Russ, I think it's just gonna give them some time. Though at the end of the day, give them 20 games. Give them till around Christmas, and see if they still can't get it going by then. Then we have a problem. First 3 games, they just need to get in rhythm. They need to know each other a little better. I'm not sure what it is, Dill, but give them some time. You good there, buddy? I don't know what happened to Dylan, people, but we're still alive here. Uh, like Dylan was said, the Mavs, Kyrie, give you 27 on the side. Luka Doncic another huge game. He gave the Nets a damn near 50 piece, and now he give the Clippers another huge game with 44 points. So give credit to Luka and the Mavericks taking business at home. At the end of the day, people, I'm shocked that this Mavs team is 7-2 to start the season. We saw Luka and Kyrie. I had the stat somewhere in my notes, but remember they were under 500 and missed the playoffs, playing together the end of the season after the trade deadline. So I'm just surprised at the fact that they started 7-2 and Luka and Kyrie are playing this well together. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of shocked by that. And then with the Lakers and Suns, I'm gonna just move along over to this game. KD, LeBron played. I'm happy. I'm glad that we're seeing these matchup. It took 5 years, but we saw 2 in a row, people. Two back-to-back games where LeBron and KD were on the same court. What a miracle, people. Second time in 5 years, 2 times in a row. Anthony Davis, we know he has that, hip injury or whatnot it is. He had himself a good game. LeBron, 38 years old, still doing damage. 11, 17 on the floor. The shocking number to me is 3 from 4 from three. He's not going to do that too many times, people. The fact that he did it on the road to get their first road win of the season, kudos to LeBron James. Had himself a fucking day. And then when you have guys like Cam Reddish hitting 5 threes from the field, giving you 17 points. You got D'Angelo Russell giving you 19. And then you got Hachimura, Austin Reeves doing what they're doing off the bench still. This team, this Laker team, this is the team that I want to see consistently. Even though Davis didn't have a good game, but he could still give you some boards. He had 11 rebounds. Still gives you some presence in the paint. So, Dale, I understand this team was without Devin Booker last night, but Bradley Beal was Dale. He had himself a good game. Kevin Durant, 38 points, 13 for 27 from the field, 4 from 6 from three. He had himself a night. It's just, I just feel like Dale when they get Devin Booker back and Beal and Durant's all playing together, maybe we see the Suns team take off. But right now they're under 500. The KD's been playing great all season. It's just some reason, they're not winning these games. I just feel like they need that firepower on the court deal. But like I said, give credit to LeBron James at 30 years old, willing his team to victory on the road. First win of the season on the road deal. And damn, Dylan's still having technical issues. Let's just move along to Thursday night football. Let's recap Thursday night football, people, while Dylan is still trying to get in the mix. Bears take care of business at home, 16-13. Our boy Tyson Beckett, didn't have. I say both quarterbacks didn't play up to par. At the end of the day, he did walk out the victory, so you got to get in credit. I think Deontay Foreman held it down. Remember, he was a former Carolina Panther. I wish I would have remembered that. I would have took him over anytime touchdown. He had himself a day. 21 carries, 80 yards, 1 tutty to win the game. And Tyson Baggett, though, at the end of the day, he give him credit. He did enough to win the game. He did enough not to lose the game. 162, 0 touchdowns, but the key deal, 0 turnovers. Another key deal, the kid didn't take a sack. So I don't know if you want to give the offensive line credit or you want to blame, the rush for the Carolina. At the end of the day, Carolina was down their best 2 defensive players, arguably the 2 best players. And Burns, the middle linebacker, and J.C. Horn, the corner. So they couldn't really put up pressure there. And then with Carolina Panthers offensively, still, I see a lot of people overreacting, want to call Bryce Young a bust this soon. People, we're what, 9 games into his career. I understand he's 1-8. I understand he hasn't had a over 350-yard game, couple touchdowns like we saw CJ had a couple weeks ago. But let's not overreact, people. We saw the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman go 0-15 his rookie season. We saw Peyton Manning throw damn near 30 interceptions his rookie season. I'm not saying this guy's going to be a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-time quarterback. All I'm saying is give the dude some time. And people, could we get him some weapons? Do we not remember how Josh Allen looked before he got Stephon Diggs? Let's not forget, people. Josh Allen was just an above average quarterback before he got Stephon Diggs, and then that made him an elite top 10, top 5-ish quarterback. So I just feel like Bryce Young and this offense need a couple more weapons. Still, what are you going to do with 43 rushing yards from the team? You're not going to do nothing, especially when you're a young rookie quarterback. You need more than 43 rushing yards. So that's not a recipe for success. So give the Bears credit, taking care of business at home against this Panthers team. Almost, I'm not going to say they secured it, but give them the better chances to land that number 1 pick. They got the Carolinas pick. Carolina's 1-8, so that must win for Chicago. Let's just be real, people, because they invested in that. And give credit to Chicago winning the game. I know Dylan, he took the plus 3.5, so that cash, and I'm pretty sure he took Bryson Young over 215 passing yards. He went under that. Both quarterbacks didn't have a great day. I also went 1-1. I took Cole Kmet over his receiving props. It was around like 35, 36.5. He ended up with 42, I believe, 46 around there. And then I took the Carolinas running back, Hubbard. He got the fresh starting job. And look, the kid, he got 9 attempts, 9 carries for 23 yards. Come on. You got to do a little better than that. Offensive line, coaching staff, himself. You got to do better. You can't just attempt to rush the ball 16 times and throw it 38 times and expect the young kid to win the game on the road. I understand the Chicago Bears, but at the end of the day, that's a still good team with the addition of Marquez Sweat. So give credit to Chicago. Dylan's still having technical issues. I'm not sure what's going on, people. I hope he get it figured out soon. But like I said, I ended up going 1-1, and I'm pretty sure Dylan ended up going 1-1 for the night. So as a group, not good, but not horrible, people. We ain't lose that much money, so that's good. I will say let's move on, but I'm not sure where Dylan is going to come back in, kind of back out. So I'm going to do the NBA slate because Dylan really doesn't have too many NBA plays. So guess what? I'm going to go through the NBA slate. Let's just move along. I'm going to wait for him to do the NFL, college football. So I'm going to do the NBA slate, people. Let's give a couple NBA plays out. 6 o'clock start. Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Orlando Magic. Over under sitting at 232. I might like the over as well, but they'll give me the Orlando Magic at home +4 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks, I think they only covered 1 game all season. I think they're 30th, 31st in defensive ranking in the league. One of the worst defensive teams in the league for some reason. I understand they lost Drew Holiday, but Damian Lillard, and I'm not going to put the blame on Damian Lillard on his own. And then this young Magic team, they got legs, man. They could run it up down the court. So I think Magic could keep it close. And I'll say I'll give them a shot to win the game, but I think they could keep it close. Give me the Orlando Magic +4 at home. Moving on. My second play of the night. 8:30 start. Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Golden State Warriors. Over under sitting at 224.5. Another 3.5 +4 wherever you could get it. Shop around, people. This one, I'm gonna lay the points with the Golden State Warriors, to be honest. Golden State has been very good all season, to be honest. I love the addition with Chris Paul. And this Cavs team, man, they're good. But, once again, I'm pretty sure that without Darius Garland, this team ain't the same without Darius Garland, people. So I just feel like the Golden State Warriors right now is just playing a little better ball. Give me the Golden State Warriors -4, -3.5 at home, wherever you can find it, people. And then
Elvis, hold up. I apologize, sir. Thank you for carrying the load. My computer just died. Who would have thought? Thank you so much. I was hearing you. I was trying to talk. It just wasn't going through. Run me through what you were talking about. I had to restart my computer.
You good, though. So I ended up recapping Thursday Night Football all by myself because I wasn't sure how long you was going to go.
Yeah.
And then you was out for a little while, so I started going right into NBA plays.
You're good.
I didn't want to jump in right to the college or NFL action. I knew you'll be back. I just wasn't sure how long.
Okay, I didn't hear anything. All I heard was Golden State money line. Okay, and then when right before my computer died, I said you didn't want to take away too much from Bryce Young. He looks bad. I understand. I heard you say Troy Aikman. He went 0-15. He looks like he can't read the play. Even when Adam Thielen is open, he overthrows him. He can't hit his little dump off to either Chuba Hubbard or Miles Sanders. I don't know what's going on with Miles Sanders, but they just don't play him at all.
Yeah, they benched him. They benched him. I don't know what it is, Dill. He saw the stellar season he had last year in Philadelphia, Dill. I just feel like his scheme / offensive line play. He went from one of the best offensive linemen in Philadelphia last season, arguably to one of the worst in football this season, and we're seeing it.
Yeah, so I mean, it was like you said before we went live, it was a must-win for the Bears because they do have the Panthers win, but I will try to spin it into a positive for Bryce Young. He has really no one to throw to besides Adam Thielen, who's kind of past his prime. No one really scares you. Terrence Marshall is garbage. Mike Satrition, he had one catch, 45 yards. Jonathan Mingo, he's an okay rookie, but Tommy Tremble, no one scares you on this receiving core.
I said that they were also down their best best players in J.C. Horn and Burns, on defensive side. Yes. They were also down DJ Chalk and the other wide receivers. So they were arguably down their second and third best wide receivers in the game as well.
100%. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a good game, though. The under does cash. Plus 3.5. We get there by the hook. What was going through your mind when they ran back the punt return?
Still, to be honest, when they ran back their punt return, I know right then and then it's going to be an ugly game. Yeah. I could just tell. I just knew it. I was like, and it wasn't like the prettiest punt return ever either. No. So I could just tell by the punt return, it's going to be a long night. And people, it was.
By the way, what was your record? I went 1-1, the 3.5 cash by the hook, and Bryce Young, he went under his passing yards because honestly, if he hits about 4 or 5 more of his completions, he probably would have went over, but we go 1-1 on Thursday night.
Same deal. My first loss on Thursday night in about 4 weeks, though. I had a 2-0 streak for 3 weeks straight. So, it's all right. We go 1-1. Hubbard, like I said, when you have a technical difficulties, I said, what are you going to do when you only get 9 attempts when you're starting running back? I'm pretty sure they only had like 14 total attempts with 38 pass attempts still. That's not a recipe for success. So Herbert, he goes under by about 20 yards. He only had 9 attempts to 23 yards. And then Cole Kmet, I think we got to start hammering that. He goes over, I think he had like 46 receiving. His over-under was like at 35.
Besides DJ Moore, Cole Kmet has really developed into their second best receiver. And Tyson Bagent, I know the stat line's not the best, but he actually is not playing all that bad. No turnovers, no sacks. Yeah. That's the thing. I know he doesn't really have a run game. Deonde Foreman is okay, but other than that,
he had himself a day, Dale. He had himself a day.
I didn't think he played all that bad. It's two teams with not a lot of talent, unfortunately. But I hate to backtrack. I apologize. Finish up your NBA plays. What did you have? Golden State money line?
Golden State -3. And I have Golden State -4. But as of right now, people, I'm seeing -3.5. So shop around. I like the -3.5 a little better against Cleveland. And Dill, give me Steph Curry over 27.5 points. Let's not forget, people, he's from Cleveland, so he's gonna want to pour it on a little bit on against his former state now. So give me the Golden State Warriors -3.5, -4, and then Steph Curry over 27.5 points. I think it's at -115, but shop around.
Are we just going to continue to fade the Milwaukee Bucks? They have not covered one fucking game. I don't know what it is. They win games, but they just can't cover the number. And now Damian Lillard is a game-time decision. I think I might take the +4 with the Magic at home.
Dill, I already did. I said that while you was out, Dill. Give me the Magic +4. At
I love
home,
it.
young team, got the potential, and then like the Bucks, they're a very good team, but still, like you said, they can't cover, and they happen to be one of the worst defensive teams in all of basketball. I think they're ranked 29
Yeah.
for 30th, and that also leading the over. Them young Bulls could score now, and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't shocked if Giannis gives us another 54 piece.
Oh my! By the way, we didn't get to talk about it, but that ejection was so soft. I mean,
It's the NBA now. I don't know what's going
they're
on.
rooting it for these kids.
These past 2 seasons has been rough on technical fouls level. Even Jared Jackson last night, though, like we was talking before you got disconnected. Taylor Jenkins, he's just making it clear. It was clear, though. It was 29 or 28 foul attempts to 13. How the home team only gets 13, the road gets 29. It doesn't make sense. And then you have Jared Jackson getting hacked down low, not getting the calls. And then the next minute you eject him for reacting. And at the end, to me, he didn't really overreact.
It's ridiculous. I think these officials are getting a little too carried away, and they have the power, and I think they're getting carried away a little too much. So
we should
I don't
start
like
betting on refs over under technicals. Because I'll be honest, it's going to cash the over each game, especially these marquee live television matchups, because they want the attention. It 100%. Seems like, especially, those TNT games, that 10 o'clock, 7:30 start, ESPN, these refs are going to let the whistle fly for some reason.
On the next game, Boston hosting Toronto, I was thinking about taking the under. Boston on a back-to-back, they just played a tough game against you guys. I just think that, Toronto's not very good offensively, and defensively, Boston is good at home. Don't know about laying the number, but 223.5 kind of seems high. Any thoughts on this game?
Still, like you said, Boston, coming off a back-to-back. Honest, they're at home, people. But this Toronto team has been pesky all season. I'm going to lean the +8 on the road. I almost took it to the window. I might too a little later. I think this is a great tease spot if you want to tease Toronto up. I don't think they lose by double digits. I understand they're on the road, but Boston played a tough one last night. I understand they won, but Dale, nobody loves a back-to-back, especially on the weekend. So I'll give Toronto a shot to cover. And, you know me, I don't really touch the over-unders like that, Dale, but I'll lean with you just because, Toronto's more defensive minded than we know what Boston represents on the defensive side of the ball. It's just, is Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown going to explode offensively? That's the question.
Yeah. And then last game, honestly, don't know if you talked about it, but Atlanta hosting Miami. Atlanta laying 5 at home against Miami, over under 229.5. Any thoughts or opinions on this one?
Still, to be honest, I like Miami +5 on the road. Honestly, Atlanta's been playing good. Trae Young, but doing his thing. I think he's averaging around 24, 25 points. I just feel like, Miami could possibly sneak one out, though. I think they definitely keep it close, but in Atlanta, I just feel like Miami could possibly sneak one out. I like the +5 more than the dog of the day on the money line.
I got a player prop. It's a little odd, but give me Bam Adebayo over 2.5 turnovers. His usage has gone up because of Tyler Hero. It's sad that he is gone for a little bit, but he's averaging 2.5 turnovers. He's gone over this in 6 of his last 7 games. And I think he has a good matchup against Clint Capella. He's actually played him well in his career. Quinn Snyder, the coach for the Atlanta Hawks, they're a very fast-paced team. Atlanta wants to go up and down the court, and I think that could go into a lot of turnovers for Miami. Bam, 2.5 turnovers, kind of chalky at -135, but that and the under are my 2 plays in the NBA. What else did you talk about? I apologize.
No, you good. That's already I talked about. I covered Thursday Night Football, the Bucks game, the Golden State game, and then Steph Curry over, though. That's what I basically got up to.
All right, let's go into college football. Week 11, it's do or die. The whole thing, they slammed down on Jim Harbaugh in Michigan and Steinsing. Honestly, man. I'm an Ohio State fan, and I think that's kind of soft, to be honest. If dating back to the beginning of time when coaching what existed, people have been sharing signals and signs throughout time, and now they're actually after Michigan, to be honest. The whole year they're kind of after him, and it wouldn't surprise me if Harbaugh at the end of the year is just like, you know what, I'm fucking done with this shit. I know it's his alma mater and it was his dream to coach there, but he's had success in the NFL. Chicago's going to need a coach. I mean, we all know Matt Eberflus isn't the guy. And if they go out and get the number 1 and 2 pick and they get their quarterback or Marvin Harrison Jr., it'd be a good situation to go, or maybe Vegas. I just think he's gonna leave after this. Any quick opinion on the Jim Harbaugh situation before we get into our plays?
Yeah, I'm just with you. I just think it's a damn shame that they're trying to make an example of, out of all people, Jim Harbaugh over something that every college team does.
College, high school, NFL, Pee-wees, everyone.
Every fucking level, any sport you play, somehow, somewhere, somebody on the opposite side is going to try to get some type of leverage, some type of inside on what you're doing. So the fact that they saying that they're stealing plays, guess what? They're not the only team. If they are stealing plays, guess what? They're not the only team that's stealing plays last season, a year prior, or 10 years prior. People have been doing this for years. I just don't understand why make an example of Jim Harbaugh. I just don't understand it, though. If they had, like 20 schools doing this, understandable. Just single out one, knowing that every school does it, is a damn shame.
Yeah, it is a damn shame. But we will start in Penn State, hosting number 2 Michigan. Michigan laying 5.5. Jim Harbaugh will not be the coach. He'll be allowed to practice with them, but on game day, he will not be allowed to coach for the remainder of the season. That's the judge order. It's not even coming down from the Big Ten. That's what's kind of crazy to me. Like, a judge is ruling this, by the way. So anyway, we won't get into the judicial system. That's the wrong pod for this. Over-unders at 44.5. I'm going to lay it here with Michigan. I mean, they're all their players came out and tweeted, bet. You think they're not going to come out and fucking lay a hammer on Penn State on the road? It doesn't matter if it's a whiteout, blue out. It doesn't matter. I think Michigan's going to fucking blow them out for their coach. This is a must play. This might be one of my favorite plays for college football today. I'll lay it here with the Wolverines.
Still, I'm with you. Give me the -4.5 on the road with the Wolverines. Still, I think the players are going to be motivated, not just for their coach, but to put out their best performance yet. They want to be like, we're cheating? Okay. We're gonna go dominate the top 10 school on the road. That's what we're gonna do. So I personally, nothing against Penn State, but I personally hope Michigan wins this game by 21.
Me too.
I'm not even. And Dylan could take it away. You could see just from his desk. And Dylan, I know Dylan. Me and Dylan are very close. Dylan's dream school is Michigan State, people. That was his dreams. Like, if Dylan had the money, if Dylan was fortunate, he would have went to Michigan State. And I'm telling you, people, he did not like Michigan since we were teenagers. And this guy wants this, and he's laying it today. I
have to. Just because I know what the boys are going through in that locker room. You think they're not going to be fired up after their coach just got?
I just want the people to understand where you stand. Like, this guy hates Michigan since 10 plus years of hating Michigan, and this guy is on the floor today telling you Michigan minus the points.
You really don't hear me say it a lot.
For his head coach.
You really don't hear me say it a lot, but I don't mind Jim Harbaugh. I think he is a good coach. I don't like the program, but I like money more. And I want to clarify, I did get into Michigan State. Like Elvis said, it's a lot of money, especially for out-of-state people. But let's carry on. My second play, we'll go out to Mizzou. I'm going to take the little home dog here against Tennessee on the money line. I got it at +102. They're up to +122 right now. I don't know why it's going the other way, but honestly, I'm not a fan of Tennessee. I think they're kind of fraudulent. And Mizzou at home, I think they're the better team. I think they have the better defense, and I just think overall they have more ways to win this game. So I'm going to take Mizzou. If you want to take the +2.5, I'm just going to take them on the money line at home. This is my dog of the day. I think they're the better team. Give me Missouri on the money line at home.
Still, 12 o'clock start. Still, Alabama taking on Kentucky. Still, give me Alabama. Roll Tide, -11. On the road, Dill. This Kentucky team, they've been surprising us all season long. Let's not get it twisted. But when they went down, I forgot against who, but they had a tough matchup a few weeks ago, and they got completely blown out, and I was shocked by that. And I just feel like Alabama, they've been rolling. I feel like they take care of business on the road. I think they win by at least 2 touchdowns. Give me Bama roll tide on the road.
We'll go out 3:30. Pacific Northwest, Washington hosting the Utah. I'll lay the 8 here with the Huskies. I just think Utah's a good team. Defensively, they're good. Still without their quarterback for the remainder of the season, but I think Michael Penix, he's just going to have a bounce back game here. He didn't play all the best in his last game, but, I just, who did they play last week? They played USC. He didn't have that good of a game, but they got the win. And now coming back home, I just think Washington is a tough place to play. They haven't lost in home dating back to last season. They've won 16 in a row. So Utah, good team. Washington's just a much better team, top 5 team in the country. I'll lay that big number at home.
Jill, give me Kansas at home taking on Texas Tech. Dill, no longer a basketball school. Give me the Jayhawks at home, -3.5, -4, whatever you find it at, people. Don't get me wrong, I think Texas Tech is good, Dill, but this ain't the Texas Tech since we was young. Give me the Jayhawks -3.5, -4 at home, Dill. No longer a basketball school.
I love that play. I was thinking about laying the 4. It actually was 3.5 earlier, and now it's jumped to 4. It's going in our way. I do sign off on that. I like that play a lot. Next play for me, I'm going to continue to fade this team. They're fraudulent. I've said it for weeks in and weeks out. Give me the Mountaineers. They're bowl eligible. No one gave them a chance this season. Kind of a rebuild. But I took West Virginia +13. It's come down. It's going in our favor. It's down to 11.5 now. I just think Oklahoma is fraudulent. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not a big fan of Dillon Gabriel. Great name, but, they lost outright to Oklahoma State. They barely beat UCF. They lose to Kansas on the road. This is now they're coming back home against a West Virginia team who's been playing really good. West Virginia's won 2 in a row. They beat BYU, and they dominated a UCF team that Oklahoma barely beat. Now I'm getting 13 in my pocket. Well, 11.5 now. I still take it. It's just too many points, Elvis. Give me the Mountaineers +11.5 and sprinkle a little on the money line. Oklahoma is fraudulent.
Yo, I love it just because I was leading the same way. I said 11.5 points. That's a little too much, and the over-under sitting at 66. Still, I feel like it's a shootout, so if it's a shootout, Oklahoma is always live to lose. Just to give the example, people. Still, you might not love this play. I'm gonna be honest, I might not love this play, people, but I feel like it's the right play. I feel like they're a duel. Still, Arizona taking on Colorado at Buffalo. Still, I might regret this later, but give me the Colorado Buffaloes +10 at home. Still, I just feel like Colorado's due. We've seen their offense, sneak in late in games. It's just, can the offensive line block for like 2.5 seconds? I think if they could average, he could drop back for 2.5 to 3 seconds, he could have success back there, Dill. He just needs a clean pocket. Give him about 2 to 3 seconds. He'll let the ball out. I think if Colorado could do that, get the running game going just a little bit, they could possibly sneak it out. I wouldn't say, straight out dogs at +300, Dill, but I think they could cover the 10. Give me Colorado at home.
Yeah, I think 10 is a little too much, to be honest. I don't hate it. I just think Arizona's on fire right now. Yeah. They're playing really good. They beat UCLA. They beat Oregon State. They beat Washington State. They lose to USC by only 2. They played Washington pretty well, only losing by 7. This Arizona team is actually pretty good. And, this Colorado team, after the letdown from Stanford, they're not getting blown out. They're playing okay, but their defense has actually stepped up, and I thought it's played a lot better. It's just that offensive line. I think Arizona's the right side, but 10 is a little too much. I agree with that. And then my last play, I'm going to take USC +16. Don't get me wrong. Oregon, great team at home. It's a hard place to play in Eugene, but 16. You're giving Caleb Williams 16 points. I don't care. Call him a crybaby. Call him whatever you want. But this kid will put up 40 points on you. I mean, he put up 42 against Washington. He put up 50 against Cal. He put up 32. Utah has a good defense. He put up 32. He had a bad. Yeah, those are his worst two losses against Notre Dame. He loses by 28, and then he loses by 2 against Utah. He lost by 10 against Washington. Those, besides the Notre Dame game, they don't lose. When they do lose, it's not by that much. So you're giving me 16 points, which I think is going to be a shootout. The total's at 77. Oregon's good, but to beat USC, I wouldn't be surprised if UFC hung around in this game either. So give me USC plus 16. I think the number is just way too big here.
Though I like it. I just feel like the only reason the number is that big because they look at it, possibly, Vegas look at it like, what do Caleb Williams has to play for?
Is he like that? That's my thought. When I looked at the number, I'm like, is Caleb Williams playing? Because that's insane.
I think it's like the drive factor. Is he going to be motivated to, still play at elite level knowing he's not bowl eligible? That's the thing, Bill. Is he going to go out there? Is he going to go play every snap? If they just happen to go down, 17, early down 17 early. Let's just give an example. Do they yank them? Stuff like that. I think that's the question moving forward, Bill. Because at the end of the day, they're not bowl eligible. So what is he really playing for? I think that's
playoff eligible. They're gonna get into a bowl, but probably doesn't mean anything. You just need 6 wins to get into a bowl, but they're not going to the playoffs.
Playoff eligible. I'm sorry.
So they're done, but. Yeah, I guess the motivation factor does come into it. And, you're going to be a top 5 pick regardless in the NFL draft. So at a certain point, it's a business decision on your body and your pockets. Mm-hmm. Any other plays? That's all I have. 5 plays.
Dill, I think you touched on it, Dill. I'm going to lay it with Washington. Dill, give me Washington at home -8 against Utah, Dill. Just to echo everything you said, Utah is really good. The defensive side of the ball is good. I just feel like Washington – it's just a little better. Washington's one of the best teams in the country, and we're going to see it on full display once again. They'll give me Washington -8 at home.
I love it, E. Before we get into NFL, quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry watching UFC 295, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, E, let's get into it. Week 10 of the NFL. We will start across the pond in Germany again. The Colts taking on the Patriots. Patriots are the home team. Right now, kind of a pick'em, short favorite for the away team, quote unquote. Colts laying 1.5, -126 on the money line, plus 108 for the Patriots, over under at 43.5. Elvis, this is your team. I will let you lead it off. What do you got, kid?
Give me the New England Patriots on the road, but at home, plus 102. Whoa, 108 on the money line deal. Dog of the day, people. I said it to begin this show. I'm going to say it once again. The New England Patriots are the dog of the day, people. We're sitting in the bottom of the AFC, and that ain't right. We got to go right back to the win column. To me, we should have snuffed one out last week at home against Washington. Guess what? We're going to take it out in Indianapolis. Gardner Minshew, you better be ready because you're going to be in a lot of pain on that flight back home, boy.
Oh, my God. I took the Colts. I'm sorry. I don't know how.
You're a fool. Dylan.
I don't know how anyone.
By 12:30, you're going to text me like, the Patriots played pretty damn well today. And I'm going to be like, I know. I told you.
I don't know about that. I just don't know how anyone could back the Patriots right now, besides Patriot fans. But I just think the Colts are the much better team here. Quarterback does worry me. I think Gardner Minshew is regressing a little. Defense is playing well. I think the under is actually the best play. Honestly, if I'm being frank,
Dill,
I think
to
both
be honest,
defenses have been playing all right.
I'm with you, but Dill, what we've seen these last few weeks against the Colts, it's been straight out shootouts for some
Yeah.
reason.
But
Saints, Cleveland. So would I be shocked if it goes over? Though, would I be shocked if it's like a 30, 32, 28 game from what we saw recently from this Colts team? Not at all, Dill. We could put on points. We saw Stevenson bust what a 60-yarder last week. Mac Jones. Say what you want, Dill. I've been down on him as well, but he's been better. He's been better these past 2 weeks. Can we admit that? Can we
yeah,
at least admit that?
100%. Yeah.
So I feel like our offense could honestly put up some points, especially against that Colts defense, who's good, but for some reason is letting up a ton of points and a ton of yards.
Very interesting. But my worry is just we've seen it. Europe, the 2 games in London, the 1 game in Germany, all kind of low scoring games. So we'll see kind of the jet lag. I want to see how they come out. But first play of the game, I am taking the Colts on the money line, minus 126. Let's go to the 1 o'clock slate. Jacksonville should be a good game. Jacksonville hosting the 49ers. 49ers 3-point favorites on the road. On the buyback for the Jaguars, plus 144 on the money line. Over under is at 45.5. Trent Williams is a game time decision, and so is Deebo Samuel. I think if they get them back, I think this is their game. But what do you got for this one, E?
Yeah, I could honestly say this confidently. I think Trent Williams will be out for the game, and I think Deebo Samuel will most likely be in the game, possibly on the limited role. But I think Damian Samuels returns in this matchup, and I think Trent Williams is out. Still, to be honest, both teams coming off a bye week. I expect both teams to play at a high level. It's just, Jacksonville winners of 5 straight, 49ers winners of 3 straight. We've seen Brock Purdy these last 3 weeks take a step back. Let's be real, Dylan. Trevor Lawrence is entering that room of elite quarterbacks still. Travis Etienne is entering that room of that high echelon running back room, Dill. My only question is with the passing game, is Kyler really gonna show up? If he's gonna just have 2 catches for 35 yards, or he's gonna have 5 for about 80, 90. I think if Kyler really could show up and have himself a good game, I think Jacksonville could take care of business at home, Dill. With that being said, I expect both offenses to show up, and I expect both defenses to come out. We got 49ers, they got Randy Gregory, they got Chase Young. This is going to be the first time they all on the field together coming off that bye week. It's going to be exciting to see, Dill. But make a long story short, give me Jacksonville Jaguars plus 3 at home, Dill. I just think they make it interesting. I'm going to give you a final score, 27-24, Jacksonville.
And they get the outright win. Your dogs are barking today. I love it. No play for me here, to be honest. I did want to, if Trent Williams is playing, I probably would take the 49ers. I do lean them, but
I want to real quick. I want to hammer anytime touchdown Christian McCaffrey, but his line is 225.
Oh my God. Yeah.
yo, come on, Vegas.
He is the best running back in the league. So, I mean, what was I going to say? The longest winning streak in the NFL is the Jacksonville Jaguars, 5 in a row. I mean, what kind of world are we living in where they have the longest winning streak?
Dougie P.
Yeah, Dougie P. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they kept this one close at all. Like you said, Brock Purdy hasn't looked good, but coming off their bye, looking a little healthy, I think they'll be all right. But should be a really good game. Let's go out to Minnesota. Josh Dobbs and the Minnesota Vikings host Derek Carr and the Saints. Saints laying 3 on the road, minus 154 on the money line, plus 130 for the Vikings. Over under is at 40.5. Yeah, I'm going to take the 3.5 here, or the 3 with the Vikings. I just think Josh Dobbs and this offense, Justin Jefferson's probably not going to play. He'll probably come back next week, he said, but we saw what Josh Dobbs was able to do. Now getting a full week with the starters, knowing their names, getting the play call in. I think that they're the right side. At home, they've been able to put up points, and we've seen the offense of the Saints kind of struggle to put up points besides the game of the Patriots, no offense. But, and we've seen, you even said it yourself, the defense of Brian Flores, they've actually been playing not really well. They've been playing better. But I just think this is a good spot for them, and I think they could win outright here. I'm going to take the 3 in my pocket, and it wouldn't surprise me if they won. So give me the Vikings at home plus 3.
Still, to be honest, I agree with you. I end up staying away from the side. To be honest, I do give Minnesota a shot. If the Saints are at home, I'll definitely take the Saints. But on the road, Dill, I'll give Minnesota a shot. But Dill, I'm going back to all reliable. I think you already know the bet. Give me Alvin Kamara over 33.5 receiving yards. They just don't learn. Minus 115. Anything under 40 people is live. For some reason, he gets one of the highest targets on the team with they have Chris Olave and Michael Thomas. Yet Alvin Kamara still finds a way to get 8 to 10 targets a game. Hey, I ain't mad at it. Give me Alvin Kamara over 33.5 receiving yards.
If they don't adjust, keep hammering it 33.5. I mean, the guy gets like 9 to 10 targets a game. So he could break one too. So I do like that play. Let's go out to Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers hosting the Tennessee Titans. Kind of a pick 'em, short favorite for the home team, Tampa Bay Bucks. Minus 120 on the money line, plus 102 for the Tennessee Titans. Over under is at 38.5. Vrabel came out this week. He said Will Levis is the starter for the remaining of the year. Ryan Tannehill will back him up. Not surprised there, to be honest. I think he's kind of earned it, if I'm being frank. I do lean Titans, to be honest. But official play, I'm going to go Mike Evans over 61.5 receiving yards. I wish I got the opening number of 58.5, but I waited. I was a fool. 61.5. I still like it, but I don't love it. He's gone over this number in 4 of the 8 games he's played. Just Tennessee, the reason I kind of like is because Tennessee, they're allowing the 5th most yards to receivers per game. They're good against covering running backs out of the backfield. So hopefully that lessens, Rashard White's impact, but it's going to free up Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So hopefully they have big games. Mike Evans over 61.5 yards is my play.
Dill, I ended up staying away from this one. I love that play, by the way, just because we know Mike Evans is a deep threat and Baker and him. For some reason, have a pretty good connection, so I like that deal. But on the side, I have no official play, but I was this close, people taking Tennessee. I like Will Levis. I like what he brings to the offense. I also lean DeAndre Hopkins over. I think it's at like 61.5 receiving yards. Also lean his over. Dill, I like this Tennessee team with Will Levis at the helm. I think Derrick Henry still got a lot of juice left. It's just with the Bucs team, I like them. It's just what what is Baker going to be able to do? I'm not saying Tennessee's defense is, all that, but is Baker going to put up, 24 points? I think you're going to have to put up 24 to win this game. So I give Tennessee a shot on the road, Dill. They're +1. I'll sprinkle something on the money line, Dill. But to be honest, I end up staying away. But maybe come tomorrow, I'll sprinkle something on them.
This is another coaching vacancy job. Todd Bowles is not the guy. He's a defensive coordinator. He's not a head coach. He's bad, and I agree. I just don't see Baker being able to put up 20-plus points on this defense. And if he does, kudos to him. He beats me, but I just haven't seen it. They don't put together long drives. They're not consistent. And I just don't see it. They're not going to be able to run the ball against Tennessee. Tennessee has a good run defense. They're going to have to air it out. And that means the game is going to be in Baker's hands. So we'll see. Should be an interesting game, but I do lean Tennessee as a short dog. Let's go to the bank. Baltimore Ravens hosting the Cleveland Browns. Ravens laying 6.5 at home. Plus 235 for the Cleveland Browns. Over under is at 38.5. I'll get it out right quick. Under is the play. I mean, these AFC North matchups in the bank, tough place to play. 2 really good defenses, 2 top 5 defenses, if I'm being honest. But lean the under. But official play, Lamar Jackson over 7.5 rush attempts. Line is extremely low. Jackson is averaging 9.3 rush attempts per game. He's averaging 5 rushes per game. So I think we've seen enough sample size where new offensive coordinator Todd Monken, he's continuing to keep Lamar running, just not as much as he's seen. So I don't think even the emergence of the rookie Keaton Mitchell, I don't even think he takes away from the carries of Lamar. If so, he's going to take carries away from Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. So I don't know if this is a good matchup because, like I said, the Browns have a good defense, but I also think the Ravens have a good defense as well. I think they're going to make it extremely tough for Deshaun Watson and the Browns. So I think Lamar has a good chance to go over this number, over 7.5 rush attempts at minus 130.
Dill. I like it. Dill, I'm gonna lay it. We've seen Baltimore just complete dominate some of these better teams in the NFL at home. Saw the Seahawks. We saw the Detroit Lions. Dill, I think Cleveland, there might be another victim. Give me the Baltimore Ravens -6.5, Dill. And what we saw in these past few weeks, Dill, wouldn't shock me if it was a 20-point victory against this team, Dill. They've just been dominating, like you say, at the bank. So give credit to this Ravens defense for shutting down opponents at home. And then Lamar, Dill, he's having one of the best seasons of his career thus far. Give me Baltimore Ravens -6.5 at home.
Yeah, I love it. It's a good teaser spot as well. Get him down to a pick 'em. Let's go out to another AFC North team, Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Houston Texans. Another 6.5, another good teaser spot, I think. Bengals laying 6.5 at home, plus 225 for Houston. Over under is at 47.5. Now, CJ Stroud, he's coming off playing probably his best game of his career. Can he duplicate, or at least can he keep it close here on the road?
Dill, I highly doubt he duplicates it, but Dill, can he go for another, 250, 300? Absolutely, So with that being said, I like this Houston team. I like what CJ Stroud's able to do, Dill, but what they about to run into is a force. Cincinnati Bengals, as these past few weeks, Dill, they've been rolling. They've been firing all cylinders. Joe Burrow is healthy. That defense is playing better than I anticipated. Yes, I'm a little worried. If Jamar Chase is going to be 100%, it looks like he's going to be playing, Dill, but are we going to see Jamar Chase, or are we just going to see somebody out there in Jamar Chase jersey? So with that being said, Dill, I'm going to play it safe at home, tease them down to pick them minus half a point. That's what I'm going to do, Dill. Give me the Bengals, tease them down to a half a point.
I love it. Good teaser spot there. Let's go out. Yeah, no play here for me. I do lean Bengals, but I do think it's a better teaser spot to be a little more safe. Last 1 o'clock game on the slate: Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Green Bay Packers. Steelers laying 3 at home, -180 on the money line, plus 152 for the Green Bay Packers. Over under is at 38.5. Another low total here for an AFC North team. They made the change, Matt Canada, from the booth down to the field. It looks like it helped a little bit in one game. Hopefully he's down on the field for this one. You going to lay it here with Kenny Pickett and the Steelers?
No, but Dill, give me the under 39. I ended up catching that 30. Dill, I ended up catching the 39, and I'm confident. I love it, Dill. When you have 2 bottom 10 quarterbacks, and I'm being nice, not saying 5, but when you have 2 bottom 10 quarterbacks, it's not going to be a lot of points scored on the field. And at the end of the day, Dill, we know what Pittsburgh defense is capable of doing. So I don't see Jordan Love and the Packers putting up. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to say 16. They're not putting up more than 16 on the road, Dill. They might be able to score at least 10, maybe 13 in the second half late when maybe the game is over. But I just don't see Green Bay and Jordan Love coming in and putting up a ton of points. And I don't see Kenny Pickett. I see Kenny Pickett doing enough to win the game. I do think the Steelers are the right side, Dill, but I don't see him doing enough to win this game convincingly or by double digits. So give me the under 39 total, Dill. I'm gonna say it's like a 20-13 game.
And they cover, hopefully. I am rooting for the Steelers here. I'm out on
honestly,
the Packers.
No, you don't. You need the Steelers to lose, Dill. As a Jets fan, you need the Steelers to lose. You need the Bills to lose.
Yeah, that's true. I just don't have confidence in
I
us,
know.
Yeah, for me, another player prop, another rush attempt. Najee Harris over 13.5 rush attempts. I know the rookie Jaylen Warren, he's kind of been more productive. Not kind of, he has been more productive than Najee Harris. But Najee Harris is still getting his attempts, and that doesn't seem to be changing this week. He's gone over this number in 5 of his last 6 games, and the 3 misses are on all games that were all where Pittsburgh was down big and Kenny Pickett was forced to throw. Green Bay hasn't shown us the ability to score consistency or in bunches or even sustain drives at all. So the Packers, they're allowing the 8th most players per game and the 5th most running back attempts per game at 25. So I think Najee Harris could at least get 14 rush attempts. So over 13.5 rush attempts for Najee Harris. Let's go to the 4 o'clock window. The Arizona Cardinals hosting the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons laying 1.5 on the road, -134 on the money line, +114 for the home dog, over under 43.5. Listen, yeah, I told you I was gonna stay away from this team. I did not bet it, but 1.5. I mean, they gotta
It's
win this, right?
temptish, right? It's temptish.
They're trying me again.
The degenerate in you is like, no,
I
no.
I want to play it so bad, but I swore it off. So
You know what song we gotta
lean.
play? You know what song we
Huh.
gotta play, people? Tempted to touch, tempted to touch.
That's my song.
Dill, my official play for this game, I ended up staying away from it, but I have a player prop, people. Give me Drake London. Over 46.5 receiving yards. I understand he's coming off the groin injury, kept him out of last week's game. So, but people, before he went down with that injury, he went over this number 4 straight games. I understand Tyler Heineke's the new quarterback now. It's no more Desmond Ritter. But I think he tries to get the ball to his best offensive weapon in Drake London. I understand B.J. Robinson probably is, but he's been down these past 2 weeks, not having huge games. I think Drake London got to give him the ball, give him a couple targets, and I think he goes over, hopefully by a mile. I have him in fantasy as well. But he's went over this number 4 straight games. I expect him to continue it. Give me Drake London over 46.5 receiving yards.
All right, let's go out to LA. The Chargers are hosting the Detroit Lions. Lions laying 3 on the road, -156 on the money line. Buyback for the Chargers at home, +132. Over under is at 48.5. Elvis, what do you got here?
Still, if Detroit was at home, I would have laid the -3 deal, but on the road in LA, I expect the Detroit Lions fan to travel and make some noise in that stadium. Deal. With that being said, give me the Detroit Lions -148 on the money line. I understand it's a little chalky, people, but I'm giving y'all the winner. That's what we're doing here. I think Detroit Lions is flat out the better team. I understand the Chargers. They could bring the pressure. We saw they have multiple games with 5+ sacks. I feel like with the Lions, they have one of the best O-lines in football. They're getting David Montgomery back. They're going to have a 2-headed monster with Gibbs and Montgomery. We saw how Gibbs been playing these past 2 weeks. Laporta, Amon St. Brown, Dill. This offense is playing at a high level. The defense just got to match it. Give me the Lions on the road, -148.
Yeah, I lean the Lions. I don't want to take the 3 on the road. I'd rather take them on the money line. But official play, Austin Eckler, anytime touchdown. He's had a touchdown in 3 of his last 5 games he's played. And I know his receiving usage has gone down, but I'm not sure, I'm not sure if there's a second receiver on this team that Justin Herbert trusts more. You got Mike Williams out. You got Justin Palmer out as well. All you have is Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler out of the backfield. I think Eckler is the second receiver on this team. He found the end zone twice against a good Jet defense. I think he continues to get in the end zone, not just tomorrow, but the whole season. I think he's a touchdown machine. I know he hasn't played all that much this season, only 5 games, but he's still a top 5 fantasy running back. So he still does it all. I think Austin Eckler gets into the end zone. Give me Austin Eckler anytime touchdown. Let's go out to Dallas. Cowboys hosting the New York Giants. -17.5. Tommy DeVito is starting. I don't even know what to say. Over-under's at 39.5. I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll lay the 17.5 with the Cowboys.
Yeah?
Yeah, Tommy DeVito can't put up 10 points.
Yeah, Dill. I'll lean the -17.5. And Dill, to be honest, I think the play is -10.5 first half. I just feel like Dallas can at least be up. I'm gonna say 20-3 at halftime. I'm already 17-3. The only way Giants put up any more than 7 in the first half. More than 7. They could possibly get 2 field goals. But more than 7 if they get a pick 6 or strip 6 still. To be honest, I'm going to go to -10.5 first half. That's my official play. I wanted to stay away from it, Dill. But the 10.5 first half, I think it's 17-3 I have. In Dallas.
They're going to dominate this kid. I mean, I feel bad for him. Let's last 4 o'clock game. Seattle Seahawks hosting the Washington Redskins. Seattle -5.5 at home, +224. Sam Howell and the Redskins over-unders at 44.5. Tough one, kid, because I do lean Seahawks -5.5. I couldn't get there, though. gun to my head, I would take the Seahawks. I think they are getting better at the same time. It could be a shootout, too. I know the Seahawks have a good defense, but Washington can put up numbers. They don't really get the wins all that much, but Eric Bieniemy in that offense. Sam Howell can sling the ball. Is he consistent? Not as much as we'd like him to be, but he'll throw in a game where he'll have 450 yards and 3 touchdowns. So it might be this game. I think we see a shootout. I lean over, and I lean the 5.5. I think Seattle's the much better team.
Still, I ended up teasing Seattle down, Dill. This is my two-way 6-point teaser. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals to a pick 'em, and then give me Cincinnati minus a half a points, and then Seattle to a pick 'em, Dill. Don't get me wrong. I do think they're the right side. I'll lean the plus minus 5.5, -6, wherever you get it, people. But I'm playing it safe. We know Washington with Eric Bieniemy, man, they could put up some points on the board. We saw Sam Howell throw for over 320 yards multiple times this season. I understand Seattle's a tough place to play at, but to be honest, I think Sam Howell and his offense showed you they could put up some points in the road. We see it against Denver. We saw it against Philadelphia. We saw it against last year against the Patriots, when they needed the points. So, still, and then another thing, what we've been saying it all season long, we got to smash the over for the number one receiver against the opposing team of the Redskins. Still, I think we got to lean DK Metcalf. Only at 66.5. You know what? I'm going to take it. Give me DK Metcalf over 66.5 receiving yards. He's been quiet, these last recent weeks. Tyler Lockett had a huge game a few weeks back. I think DK Metcalf is due, especially against his poor secondary.
I really hope he does because I'm versing you in fantasy. So, DK, I hope he goes for like 100. I need that and 2 tutties, but love that. Sunday Night Football. Let's get to it. Let's make it short and sweet. The Raiders hosting the New York Jets. Jets short favorites. Don't know how on the road. -1, -110 on the money line. -106 for the Raiders. Over under is at 36.5. Is this the lowest total on the board?
36, yes.
Yes, it is. I mean, you gotta lean the under, kid. To be honest, I don't think Aiden O'Connell is going to be putting up points against this defense unless we turn the ball over in our own territory and give them short field. I really don't expect them, like Aiden O'Connell, to be driving on this defense. I lean under. Primetime unders have been great this season. Raiders are 6-2 toward the under. This game is Zach Wilson versus Aiden O'Connell. Just not a good game. It's just not a good game. I hope the Jets win. I really do. Do I have confidence that they'll win? No. I mean, the offensive line is putting together fucking guys they're picking up from MetLife at this point. So, don't have confidence. Zach Wilson kind of regressed back to the mean. Yeah, I mean, it should be a Breece Hall game, though, I think. I think you can run on this defense. Don't know about passing the ball with Zach Wilson, but they got to just develop quick passes, get the ball out quick for Zach Wilson. They're drawing up plays that take too long to develop. And what is everyone? My mom is coming here and saying they know what the defense is going to do. If she knows what they're going to do, you think NFL coaches don't know what to do? So they're going to blitz you. You need to get the ball out quick. He hasn't been able to get the ball out quick besides like 1 or 2 games. So I don't know. I hope the Jets win. Lean under that. I think that's the best play, if anything. But, yeah, no real opinion. I hope the Jets win, though.
Dill, my official play for the game. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders on the money line, -102, Dill. I'm going to just be honest, Dill. What we saw last week when Antonio Pierce-led squad was just different. I think it's something brewing in that locker room, Dill. I think it starts with him. I think he brings the energy. He's going to have the boys flying, Dill. No one else expected Aiden O'Connell to put up 30 points against the New York Giants, Dill. Let's just be real. I understand it's just the New York Giants, Dill, but that was a flat-out great team performance, So I'm going to give credit to the Raiders, and Dill, the Jets. I think we see and know Zach Wilson's limits. That defense, nothing to scoff at. Might be a top 5 defense, Dill. I just feel like the Raiders' defense could put them in better field positions to put on points. I think Zach Wilson could possibly turn the ball over. I also think Aiden O'Connell could turn the ball over. I just feel like the Raiders at home with Antonio Pierce at the helm, though, I just feel right now they're going to be playing at a higher level. Give me the Raiders at home, minus 102 on the money line.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game. Hopefully it's over by halftime so I could go to sleep. But yeah, Elvis, good luck. We have Monday Night Football as well. Should be a good game there. Buffalo and the Broncos. I don't even know if we want to be touching the Bills right now, but you mentioned your NBA plays in the beginning. Just a quick few plays in college before we get up out of here. Give me Wofford minus 3.5 at home. Give me Fordham minus 1.5 against Cornell at home. Yes, sir. And I'm going to take Ohio on the money line against my boys, Cleveland State. You know, I love to back Cleveland State, but Ohio is the better team right now. It's a pick 'em. I'll take Ohio on the money line. Minus 110. And my favorite play of the day, give me Kent State at home, minus 3.5 against Fresno State. I think they should blow them out. I think they should be double-digit favorites if I'm being honest. So, yeah, give me Kent State minus 3.5. Ohio on the money line. Fordham minus 1.5 and Wofford minus 3.5. Elvis, thank you so much. I apologize again about the delay. Any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Oh, no, that's it, though. Let's just have another great weekend. I know me and you had a positive week last week, so let's just follow it up. Let's just have a good weekend, good NBA slate, and even a better college football slate, Dill.
Yes, sir. And that's going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager on behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila. Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll recap all the games. We'll give out our best bets for Monday Night Football. So follow along our social media, X and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, subscribe, rate, review. We go live on YouTube every Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So we appreciate you. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Everyone have a great day. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe. Be well. And we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.